Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Orphanlast, aka Skylar Madison, and today I'm coming at you with another Noblefrugal Studio collaboration video, where I'm painting out this background, and once I'm finished with it, which is probably really soon here, I'm going to go ahead and submit this final product over to Noblefrugal Studio. And Noblefrugal Studio is a channel here on YouTube ran by a guy called Sebastian. He's a really good guy. In fact, his channel is very similar to mine because his channel is primarily focused on open tunes. And that's awesome. But anyways, he's going to go ahead and grab a hold of my background here and animate a complex scene using my background and using open tunes. So if that happens to interest you, feel free to take a look at the video description below, or in general, if you guys are looking for tutorials on OpenTunes, he is a good resource. He really is. I do recommend his teaching style. He's a good guy too. Anyways, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. There is going to come a point where I'm going to be describing what it is I'm doing on the screen, at least a little bit, but yeah, there's a few things I need to get off the table here, because, you know, some people may think that I did something stupid just to get attention, and really I try not to do these stupid little gimmicks that stir up a lot of drama or freak people out. But really, one thing that really frustrates me about YouTube is there are sometimes people, they will make a video on YouTube and they will not research the content in their video. I mean, at least I do the courtesy of, if I don't know how to do something, I make a video series kind of like this one, where I paint something out in a way that I'm not familiar with, and I don't pretend as if it's a tutorial. If during the process while I'm learning I come up with something that looks really good, I go ahead and describe what it is that I'm doing, but I don't pretend as though during the actual learning process that is in any way a tutorial. So but anyways, yeah, there's this guy on YouTube. You know, I'm not even going to give a name drop for any of the people. Okay, so recently YouTube changed their monetization policy. Okay, I don't really care about that. If you have less than 1 million subscribers, YouTube monetization is not a viable option for, say, anything. Like, it's not going to pay your rent, that sort of thing. And it's not going to pay your groceries or anything like that. So the change in monetization doesn't really affect me. I got something like $40 last year off of YouTube, which is more than some people do and they actually get within their first year. But even still, like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just $40 that within the course of 12 months. That's like nothing. Anyways, so TJ Kirk, oh dang it, I told myself I wasn't gonna give a name drop, but yeah, TJ Kirk, he went ahead and made a video where he was talking about this, and he said that people with less than 1,000 subscribers and less than 4,000 views, which is easy to get if you have 1,000 subscribers, legitimate subscribers, you won't be able to make your own thumbnails. And that, I started to freak out, and I started to message people on Twitter and stuff like that, making all these posts on Twitter and such like that, kind of saying, hey guys, can you, like, let's try to get me to 1,000 subscribers by the end of February. I kind of take that back. I'm not the gimmick sort of person. I don't, like, if I get 1,000 subscribers, I want 1,000 subscribers legitimately, and that's it. Like that, like, I'm not trying to throw gimmicks at people. Turns out TJ Kirk was wrong. He didn't research his video before he made it, and so I've unsubscribed to him because that's nonsense. You shouldn't be throwing out crap like that and getting people to really get concerned. because, like, honestly, being able to customize your thumbnail for your video, that is your primary form of advertising for your video, other than the title of the video itself and your tags that you put on the video, so that it's available in searches on YouTube or on Google and such like that. That's pretty important. But really, the thumbnails go a really long way. If you have a really attractive thumbnail, which I'm starting to nail down making the thumbnails, really, like, that goes a long way. It attracts people's attention. It is a big part of the marketing for your video. So, yeah, you know, that I felt like I had a legitimate reason to be concerned, even though it turns out what I was freaking out about wasn't even real. So if you guys haven't really kind of, like, gathered it by now, I'm applying photo textures to the buildings and such like that. Now, I was thinking that I would be grabbing, like, brick textures and such like that, but what I'm finding is that the warp tools with the transformation tool is not really powerful enough to give you a fisheye perspective when you warp the image. It does something, but it doesn't do enough in order for it to provide curvilinear distortion. If it was photoshopped, yeah, it would, totally. I know that for a fact. You could totally do that with Photoshop, but Krita, not so much. Something needs to be done with the warp tool. I don't know. Maybe someday I might start a bounty for Krita or something. I don't know. But yeah, there are two types of blending modes that are really good for photo textures. One is called Overlay. I didn't use that at all in this video. And the other one is Photoshop Soft Light. And, you know, I've really distorted some of the, like, the colors in some of these photo textures in order to really bring out the texture quite a bit. And once I turned it to, you know, Photoshop Soft Light, just really started to look good. And all that good stuff, like, but the thing is like, sometimes, you know, the Photoshop Soft Light, sometimes you might want to do something other than just, you know, keeping the original color, because sometimes, like, as you can see, I am changing the color of stuff. Sometimes I like that, sometimes I didn't. And so that's some of the reason why I made so many selections. Sometimes I'd be selecting an area that I applied a photo texture to, and then I'd just, you know, mess around with the colors and stuff like that, and then keep on selecting different areas, mess around with the colors, so that different parts of what I applied the texture to would wind up having a different type of, like, color to it. And here, actually, this is... what is this? This is a photograph of quartzite. It's one of the hardest stones out there, next to granite. It's actually harder than granite, and it's more difficult to work with if you're a stonemason, because if you hit it with a hammer and chisel, which is 90% of stonemasonry, what happens is it will chip. No, it won't just chip. It'll actually fracture like glass. It's not sharp or anything, but it'll shatter. Whereas granite keeps its solidity, and there's actually a chance that if you happen to, you know, split the stone incorrectly, you actually have a chance to maybe salvage the stone with granite. Not so much with quartzite. But the texture for quartzite seemed like it was pretty good for a road. So I went ahead and used that, and just used Photoshop Soft Light. I also turned it black and white, played around with the levels, and then I went to, I think it's filter or something, like, or some, what is the menu? Basically, I went to color and set the values to transparent. So like anything that happens to be close to white has some transparency. And so then I went ahead and applied it to the background and everything, and Photoshop stuff light, and it really looks good. Here, you know, I made these selections and started to toy with them, but I found that that was completely unnecessary. There's a blending mode called Lighten. So Lighten, okay? Lighten. Lighten. If you have a really light color applied to that blending mode, you're able to do some really clever atmospheric distortions. So, like, where it's like atmospheric, what is it? I forgot what it's called. Atmospheric perspective, I think that's the term, where things off in the distance start to kind of fade to a grayish blue color, and that's what I did during the last little bit, just making it really look like things are going off in the distance. And I think that it really does actually go a long ways where that's concerned. Anyways, so yeah, next, I think I'm going to actually have next week we'll have my presentation video series, where I'm going to teach you guys how to make a presentation video using OpenTunes and such like that. It's just that I have an OpenTunes news video coming out this week, and trying to juggle 3 big videos and such like that in 1 week, it's pretty difficult. So yeah, next week you can expect that and all that good stuff. So look at that. So next week also, with the Noblefrugal Studio collaboration series, I'm also going to be making trees and such. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you didn't like it, please like, share, and subscribe anyways. And if you guys would like to take a look at any of my other videos, feel free to click on any of the ones that are appearing on the screen right now. Thank you.